Gee, I got a question. Anybody care to hear some folk music?
After Catherine O'Hara died, I simply had to get A Mighty Wind on vinyl.
Oh, man.
This is good stuff.
Did you order that, or?
I did. I got this on eBay.
Nice.
Brand new. And it's, the music is awesome. And there she is looking all pretty and being so funny. And of course, Spinal Tap right here. But great music, I think. Again, I think what makes great comedy music is the level of exaggeration. And these guys, it's like the less exaggeration you have to do while still managing to exaggerate a little bit to make sure we all understand it's a joke. That's sort of the art of the subtle humor. And that's, of course, what this movie does so well. And much like Spinal Tap, it kind of rides the line of like earnest moments and comedic and, satirical moments. And it's one of my favorites, Mighty Wind.
Oh, a mighty wind's a-blowing, it's kicking up the sand.
And then I keep going back to the flea market because now that I know, man, if you look in the vinyls, you're going to see, I shouldn't say vinyls, vinyl records. You'll see, Stripes as an example on Laserdisc.
Oh, look at that.
Great movie. And, John Candy, of course. In fact, you can see John Candy in some kind of mud wrestling, promotional image.
The slightly embarrassing mud wrestling.
Yes, in his documentary they talked all about that.
Oh yeah, didn't he? They say he didn't want to like take off his shirt, right, for that.
Right, which like obviously, like maybe he wasn't quite popular enough at that point where it was like this guy has a little too much prestige. Like this is. Like, yes, he'll be a comedic character, but he's not here to like flap boobs around or anything like that.
Yeah, that's Chris Farley will do that later.
Get Chris Farley to do it. And speaking of Farley, Fargo, it seems like the kind of movie you got to have on Laserdisc, right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
After a while, I'm like, my Laserdisc collection rules. I've got
it fucks.
It fucks. when David Lynch died and it was like his Laserdisc collection is X amount of dollars. And I was like, when I die, you're going to be pretty pleased with you get my Laserdisc collection, EJ. It's yours. When I die of bowel cancer when I'm 48.
Hopefully we'll both die of bowel cancer on the same day.
So the show ceases elegantly, gracefully.
Cancerously pooping into each other's cancer.
That somehow cures it, actually. We just didn't know that was the cure until we tried it. No one had tried it.
Nobody tried it.
And then finally, I came across it for $2. Couldn't resist. I'm dreaming of a White Ranger. The Power Rangers Christmas special, which of course there's two. There's Alpha's Magical Christmas, which was shot specifically for a very lazy effort where they just shot Alpha fucking around with some kids in the command center, and I think they used like some stock footage of the Rangers. They didn't even like get footage of the Rangers.
And the others are still at the World Peace Project.
And they just sing Christmas carols, and it's just a way to sell a tape. But this was an episode. This is an episode of the show. This would have been, I guess, season 3 during the Ninja. It's Christmas, a time of joy and happiness for all except Lord Zed, that is. The supreme evil one is plotting to take over Santa's workshop and force the elves to make his very own brainwashing toys, Rangers. With one under every Christmas tree, a classic, right? Where the villain is going to deliver bad things to all the children.
Classic Nightmare Before Christmas plot.
Exactly. And they'll all be under a spell. Can the Rangers upset Lord Zed's evil plans? Can they free Santa? And of course, Santa is in the show. He interacts with Tommy, the White Ranger. And if they fail, will the children of the world ever experience the joy of Christmas again?
All right, Santa. Next year, you won't have to check your list because all the world's children will be naughty. And won't that be nice for me?
Can you imagine they used to sell for $30 or whatever it would have been? 22 minutes of entertainment.
That's a 90s money. Oh,
90s money. Yeah, that was an expensive tape. I don't know that would have been 30, but tapes were 30. There's price stickers on my Batman ones that are like $29.99.
It's like when you see like old video games like priced at $70. I'm like, ooh, $70 and 90s money. Ooh, our parents loved us.
Sometimes I wonder about video games and prices. Like, what's the next move? Like, at what point does the whole thing become subscription?
Oh, sure. Yeah, because they were talking about like Switch is probably going to raise price. They had to delay PlayStation 6 because of RAM shortages or something.
People simply aren't going to pay $70, but they might figure the companies might figure out a way that's like, well, we think that on average, though, people interested in video games will spend up to X number of dollars per year. And so if we can get them hooked on a subscription fee, and then they can, we'll find, do Game Pass, but in a more intelligent way or something, or in a way that they can pick and choose the games a little bit or something.
Yeah, they might have to refine it, but yeah, they tried Game Pass and then they screwed it up, and so
But people loved it for a little bit of time, didn't they?
Yeah.
There was a time there where Game Pass was considered a really cool or a high value thing. I think it was when they started like plucking the games off of it, right? It was when they made it like bottom of the barrel. But
it's like Netflix.
At what point is it like there's the theatrical run of a movie and then it goes to streaming, and the way you watch it is you subscribe to streaming? Like when are they gonna? I'm not advocating for this. I just think that like the value prop at $70 or $80 per video game, and there's a lot of video games that come out. It's just like it's not going to work for a lot of people. And so either they're going to buy nothing but indie games, or they're going to have to get them some other way. They're not going to finance the games. So, but it has to be some way to kind of like balance out the cost. And then there's the question of like, do you even need the hardware at all? Like, are we at a point now with, if you can sell Chinese Android devices, any form factor you can think of, and it can play the same old software from one platform, do they do all of them get out of the console business altogether? And it's like you buy your own console in any form factor you'd like, or maybe they sanction certain ones or work with certain companies, but you buy your own form factor and then you subscribe. I think that's where it's headed, man.
Yeah. And I think companies need to like do something about these budgets and the amount of time it takes to make these games. I was seeing some sort of article about how it was like in Japan they were asking like kids like what franchises that they like for video games, and people were saying like Pokemon, and it's like, why Pokemon? Because Pokemon releases a game like every year, every other year. Let's see, the last 3D Super Mario was in 2016, so a kid who got Super Mario Odyssey in like 2016 is now like 10 years older or whatever. So it's like some in between games you can't wait that long. And so the success of Mario is obviously he has other games, so Mario's always in the zeitgeist, but the example is similar where it's like you can't get kids hooked on a franchise if you're releasing them every 7 to 10 years.
Right.
And Pokemon, even though their games are kind of derpy and half-assed and rushed, people buy them because kids are they're able to still buy them within their childhood. Get them in their childhood.
Don't hate the player, hate the game or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously it's because it sells. It's a good business model. It's just the question. If you're going to release a half-baked product once a year, could you knock it down to $60? Does it have to be $70?
Yeah.
If it sells at 70, they're going to sell it.
Yeah, and so my point being, I think you're going to see a lot more people lowering their budgets and trying to lower their dev time.
Yeah.
Maybe using AI. But
I'm sure. And just the question is, what's the tolerance for that for the gamer? And it's like, well, for landscapes and stuff, probably very high. What's the big fucking deal? For something that doesn't matter, but it just kind of fleshes out the look. Now, for something that looks shitty, or something that's like, okay, now I'm just paying for an auto-generated game to a large degree, well, that's not worth $70. But to get the thing completed in a way that's equivalent to if it had been hand done, well, that's what the role of automation is,
Yeah, but there's so much resistance and so much like that game Expedition 33. It used placeholder graphics that were done with AI, and then they replaced all of them, and they still got shit for it.
I think it is. It's a lot of people who hate it, no doubt about it. You can't make a box Mac with AI without catching a lot of shit. But I don't think it's anywhere close to more than 50%. I think it's like a very loud 25% or something.
Yeah, I think so. I think it happens to be people who are into like the gaming subculture.
Well, I'd want to know how many dollars a year those people are spending. And if it ain't a lot, then it's like, well, then please just go over here and scream.
They're just a vocal and probably just large amount of that community.
Yeah. Now, if they're spending a lot of money, you got to listen to them.
Yeah.
Seems kind of easy to me.
I've paid you a small fortune. This gives you power over me? No.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.